Nervous, but the teachers at Archer made that easier for me. We had induction days, we had a dance and drama day, just loads of different things to help us settle in. So by the time we started, we knew quite a few people.
We had like loads and loads of different days, and we tried different lessons with different teachers and maybe some of our teachers that we have now. Over the summer we got an English challenge, a maths challenge, and write a postcard to Miss Harrison, the head teacher. Did you find it challenging?
Well, it was challenging, but in like a good way. So not the teachers, they stretch you to your own ability.
Yeah.
They stretch you as hard as you can go.
Remove your space helmet very gently. Step into the abyss.
All the teachers want you to be able to do what you want best, like your favourite thing, or like they're trying to, or if you don't know it, then they help you find what you like to do and what you find fun.
I came from a primary school where I was the only one from the Archer Academy. I came with one friend, and I've made like a whole new community of friends now.
We're also a very small school for a secondary school, and that's a joy. We only have 150 children in a year group, we only have 25 children in a class, and we invest a great deal of time from the outset at transition in getting to know them and getting to know their parents. I don't think you can ever underestimate quality time with a child or quality time with a parent, and the difference that makes that person feeling valued. We teach a wonderful unit on Guernica, where they look at the Spanish Civil War, but they look at it from a variety of different subject perspectives and produce work that covers all of those different subject skills.
J'aime les films d'action ou les films d'horreur? Les films d'horreur. Excellent.
So we both do French, and at the start of year 7 you either get allocated French or Spanish, and aside from that, if you want to, there's loads of additional language courses like Latin and Mandarin and things like that. Yeah.
Every half term we are committed to a Bright Ideas lecture.
The Microsoft person came in and started talking about computer engineering and what it's about and how it works.
Yeah, it gives you a wider knowledge of all the different career choices that there are, and it gives you a better idea of how things work in the real world, how computer engineering works and stuff like that.
You will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again.
At the moment in PE we're doing handball, and it's actually really fun. It's like football but with your hands basically. It's really good.
I play netball, football, cricket, athletics. Yeah, we're both on the athletics team. Yeah.
And cricket team.
Yeah, and cricket team, which is good. Yeah, I play a lot of sports.
I'm in the football team, so obviously with the new AstroTurf pitch this year, we have brilliant facilities to train for football. So we train once or twice a week, and we can really practice. So we're prepared when we play matches, kind of once a fortnight. So yeah, there's a much wider scope to do different sports because of all the new facilities that we've got this year.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
Enrichment is every Tuesday and Thursday you finish school a bit early to pursue extracurricular activities. It's all free and it can be anything from Muay Thai boxing to dance and drama. It's really an amazing opportunity.
We go around at the enrichment fair, which is a big showcase of all the different activities that are available for enrichment, and then you like take part in them and look at them and then think what you want to do. And it's really great, because otherwise if you're just looking at the names on a sheet you could read what you do but you'll never really experience it until you join.
Last time I did the Arch Players for the summer showcase, and I also did the Debating Society, where each week we chose a different subject and we talked about it and debated.
I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
So as soon as a family know that they have secured a place with us at school, we begin the process of getting to know them. I very much enjoy sending a card to each child when I know that they have secured a place here at school and saying welcome.
I was slightly nervous, but the teachers at Archer made that easier for me. We had induction days, we had a dance and drama day, just loads of different things to help us settle in. So by the time we started, we knew quite a few people.
We had like loads and loads of different days, and we tried different lessons with different teachers and maybe some of our teachers that we have now. Over the summer we got an English challenge, a maths challenge, and write a postcard to Miss Harrison, the head teacher. Did you find it challenging?
Well, it was challenging, but in like a good way. So not the teachers, they stretch you to your own ability.
Yeah.
They stretch you as hard as you can go.
Remove your space helmet very gently and step into the abyss.
All the teachers want you to be able to do what you want best, like your favourite thing, or like they're trying to, or if you don't know it, then they help you find what you like to do and what you find fun.
I came from a primary school where I was the only one from the Archer Academy. I came with one friend, and I've made like a whole new community of friends now.
We're also a very small school for a secondary school, and that's a joy. We only have 150 children in a year group, we only have 25 children in a class, and we invest a great deal of time from the outset at transition in getting to know them and getting to know their parents. I don't think you can ever underestimate quality time with a child or quality time with a parent, and the difference that makes that person feeling valued. We teach a wonderful unit on Guernica, where they look at the Spanish Civil War, but they look at it from a variety of different subject perspectives and produce work that covers all of those different subject skills.
J'aime les films d'action ou les films d'horreur? Excellent.
So we both do French, and at the start of year 7 you either get allocated French or Spanish, and aside from that, if you want to, there's loads of additional language courses like Latin and Mandarin,
Italian,
and things like that. Yeah.
Every half term we are committed to a Bright Ideas lecture.
The Microsoft person came in and started talking about computer engineering and what it's about and how it works.
Yeah, it gives you a wider knowledge of all the different career choices that there are, and it gives you a better idea of how things work in the real world, how computer engineering works and stuff like that.
Love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again.
At the moment in PE we're doing handball, and it's actually really fun. It's like football but with your hands basically. It's really good.
I play netball, football, cricket, athletics. Yeah, we're both on the athletics team. Yeah.
And cricket team.
Yeah, and cricket team, which is good. Yeah, I play a lot of sports.
I'm in the football team, so obviously with the new AstroTurf pitch this year, we have brilliant facilities to train for football. So we train once or twice a week, and we can really practice. So we're prepared when we play matches, kind of once a fortnight. So yeah, there's a much wider scope to do different sports because of all the new facilities that we've got this year.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
Enrichment is every Tuesday and Thursday you finish school a bit early to pursue extracurricular activities. It's all free and it can be anything from Muay Thai boxing to dance and drama. It's really an amazing opportunity.
We go around at the enrichment fair, which is a big showcase of all the different activities that are available for enrichment, and then you like take part in them and look at them and then think what you want to do. And it's really great, because otherwise if you're just looking at the names on a sheet, you could read what you do, but you'd never really experience it until you join.
Last time I did the Arch Players for the summer showcase, and I also did the Debating Society, where each week we chose different subjects and we talked about it and debated.
I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break the chain.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Archer Academy's live and virtual Open Evening 2020. My name is Amber Martin and I'm the head of lower school here at Archer. We are delighted to welcome you to our school community this evening. Whilst this year our Open Evening is a virtual event, we feel confident that it will give you a good feeling of what life as an Archer looks and feels like. A school that will demand a lot from your child, whilst ensuring that they are well supported along the way. I hope that throughout this evening, you will capture the ambition and commitment of our whole community to make this school a fun, happy and exciting place to learn, whilst ensuring that your child works hard. So, what's on the programme for this evening? Over the next 45 minutes, we are going to take you on a virtual tour of our school. You will meet some of the key people that shape our happy school and get a chance to hear from the experts, our fantastic students and our head teacher, Ms. Harrison. Before we get going with the tour, let me tell you a little bit about me and my role at Archer. As the head of lower school, I'm responsible for overseeing all students in years 7 to 9 to ensure that each child is safe, happy, thriving in their learning and realises their full academic potential. As a future Archer or parent, you would start to get to know me as part of our Year 6 to 7 transition programme that takes place during the course of Year 6. If you're watching tonight as a future Year 7 Archer, I wonder how many of you might feel a bit nervous and giddy at the thought of going to secondary school. Now, let's imagine that you've got your place at the Archer. What can you expect to happen next? Well, we would invite you to Archer as much as possible so that we can start building relationships, us getting to know you and you getting to know us. This may include coming to a taster lesson with one of our subject specialist teachers, for example, trying science in a science lab or trying dance in our studio. A transition interview would take place with myself or the head of Year 7. You would be given a login to the VIP zone, an online portal exclusively for Year 6 students joining Archer, where you can access lots of helpful information and can even start accessing points and winning awards by completing tasks and quizzes. You would also be asked to complete a summer challenge. Earlier, I told you that we would work your child hard and they will be challenged from the outset. The summer challenge is a piece of English work that your child will complete in line with our community literacy project over the summer holidays. So, as I hope you can see, at the Archer we are deeply committed to making the start to your journey here a supportive and collaborative process where you and your child are able to familiarise yourselves with how we do things here at Archer. Now, I will be back a bit later on to pose some of your questions to our panel of experts. I'm now going to hand over to the head of Year 7, Miss Ogbasalese.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ariam Ogbasalesi and I am the head of Year 7 here at the Archer Academy. It gives me great pleasure to introduce myself and share more details about the role I will play should you choose this school as the right secondary pathway for your child. As head of Year 7, I am often asked what my vision is for our students. In a nutshell, I would say that it is quite simple. Learning should always go beyond the classroom. As an ambitious and creative school, academic success here is a given, and you will hear more about this throughout the course of this evening. My primary area of responsibility centres around looking after your child. This involves overseeing their attainment and progress in all subject areas. My role focuses on considering where, how, and why students are excelling and celebrating those successes. Equally important is the role that I play in identifying areas where students need further support and inspiring interventions that will help unlock their potential. At the Archer Academy, the approach we take is a collaborative one. I work closely with all teaching staff and the SEN department to ensure that adults have a shared understanding of your child's needs. I also work with an experienced team of tutors who will guide your child through their Archer journeys. Early on, students meet their tutors through the VIP zone and at various induction events, such as summer school and our transition workshops. Through such opportunities, tutors will get to know your child well ahead of their September start. Consequently, when our students arrive, they begin their Archer adventures with a sense of confidence, enabling them to have a flying start. You may be thinking, what does Year 7 look like at the Archer Academy, and what distinguishes it from other schools? Here, students experience a rich curriculum. There is thematic learning, where students explore subjects such as philosophy, and working in partnership with local bookstores, they also have the opportunity to produce their own children's books. We also have our community literacy project, which enables the jump from Key Stage 2 to 3 in a seemingly familiar way. Our focus on extracurricular activities is something that you will have already noticed, and I imagine it is something that has piqued your interest. As a school, we believe that learning takes place both inside and outside the usual classroom structure. Within their first term, Year 7 will have completed a 3-day stay at Kingswood. This is very much an Archer tradition, one that focuses on risk-taking, developing resilience, team-building skills, and building friendships. Also within this time frame, you will have attended 3 meetings with your child's form tutor at events such as Settling In and Learning Review Day. As you will see, our school is very much about student success. It has been wonderful to meet you, and it now gives me great pleasure to hand over to our head teacher, Miss Harrison.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my absolute pleasure to be able to welcome you to explore our school this evening as you prepare to make some important decisions for you and your child's secondary education. We, of course, as the adults, know what a crucial decision this is, as the right secondary education does secure a child's future. We live in complex and uncertain times. Never in my headship could I imagine a time where I might find myself having to close our school for a period of time, or that young people in Year 11 and Year 13 might not take their formal exams. However, outside of these challenges, some things very much remain the same. You, as parents, having the opportunity and the space to explore your choice of secondary schools so that you can find the right one for your precious child. A place where they will be happy, where the teachers care, where they teach to the highest standards, where they will make lifelong friends and experience a vast range of opportunities, ready in time to see them as future adults with every door open to them. As head teacher of the Archer Academy, I know that I have the very best job in the world. It is my great privilege to lead this thriving, successful, ambitious and joyful community. I take this privilege incredibly seriously, and I'm simply so proud of all that my staff and students have achieved and secured. We have, quite simply, over the past 8 years, built a community, a special and unique experience, and something that continues to flourish, going from strength to strength. We were thrilled in July last year to be graded outstanding in all areas, such a significant accomplishment for any school. A badge we wanted and knew that we deserved, the gold standard for any school. But we are so much more than that badge. We are a community that puts its students and its staff first, recognises the huge importance of relationships, working together in a shared spirit where nothing but the best will do. For it is those relationships, high standards and unwavering determination that has enabled us to already achieve so much for our students. Our GCSE results, just one marker of a school's success, have seen us confidently placed in the top 10% of all state schools nationally for the past 3 years, with students securing the very best grades. This year, for example, almost half of all grades were judged at 7 or higher, and a third of our students achieved at least one grade 9, and that's been a consistent pattern. These results are a result of our students' hard work and the excellence and commitment of our teachers, but also because of the rich and varied curriculum that they benefit from. One where they have genuine choice and opportunity to secure personalised pathways that work for them, play to their strengths, interests and curiosities, enable them to become true scholars with a passion for learning that sets them up for life. A curriculum that is grounded in the traditional academic subjects where English, maths, sciences, humanities and foreign languages are prioritised, but one where the creative, visual and performance arts, the social sciences, sports and vocational subjects are given equality in access. We know that ensuring a strong foundation in the core means our students can explore their learning much more widely and to greater depth. We are so proud to offer a variety of subjects, including things such as further maths, economics, sociology at GCSE, not common in all schools, but also by the numbers of art, dance, music and drama classes that we have. This is then seen in the accomplishments of our students once they move to sixth form. We have a partnership with Barnet College and also with Woodhouse College. This partnership means that our students have priority admissions as long as they meet the entrance criteria. They will be guaranteed a place. Essentially, this means that they are at the front of the queue. And with Woodhouse receiving 4,000 applications for its 600 places last year, you can see just what an advantage this is for my students. The vast majority, over 60% of our Year 11 cohort, transition to Woodhouse each year, making this very much a third transition point for them. But our young people do, of course, choose a vast array of other destinations, such as King's College Maths School, Highgate, Ada Lovelace College, UCS, the London Screen Academy. This year saw our Pioneer Year Group complete their A-levels, our first cohort now heading off to university, ready to spread the arch away far and wide, with 4 students securing places at Oxbridge and others attending institutions from Glasgow to Nottingham, Leicester to Bristol. We are simply so proud of them. Look forward to celebrating and basking in their continued success, knowing that the Archer Academy has helped to build their foundations for their successful and ambitious future, where I know they will go on to do great things. But how do we do this? It's about being a value-driven school. Our values are encapsulated in our Archer Way, the standards and behaviours we expect from one another. They are shared and held with mutually high regard. Achievement, respect, curiosity, hard work, enjoyment, responsibility. The things we hold pivotal as the benchmark for how we approach challenges and opportunities, but also simply how we treat one another. It is this strong sense of community and shared values that enables our young people to feel so confident and so happy here, therefore making the excellent academic progress that they do. This is all encapsulated in our simple school rule of work hard and be nice to people. It resonates, doesn't it? It's its true simplicity that makes it so powerful. I truly believe that if a young person is happy and feels safe, they will learn. This is achieved through a culture of excellence, high expectations, a shared language of resilience, and a high value being placed simply on enjoyment. Fun should never be underestimated. It's important. That is why here at our school, enrichment is provided on 2 afternoons a week, and it's seen to be so crucial. A space to take risks, try new things and enjoy ourselves. It is compulsory, but not a hardship, and its impact is immeasurable. From pottery to rock climbing, debate society to orchestra, there is so much scope to enrich the everyday and the breadth of skills and interests our young people have. For me, I want my archers to be accomplished and to always be the most interesting person in the room. Someone who is kind and considerate, passionate and committed to their own success and that of their wider community. The curriculum, enrichment are all essential, but also that wider provision of trips, student societies, student leadership teams, workshops, lectures, the role of academic review and the personalised support of the form tutor. All this enables school to be exciting, interesting, stimulating, a journey where each step is enjoyed and the end result is one of endless possibilities. The journey of our school is narrated through a framework that we call the Archer Graduate. This is physically brought to life by our campus design, with students beginning their Archer journey at lower school for years 7 to 9. This means that the oldest child is just 14, and it secures a lively, comfortable learning environment, builds perfectly from primary school, and enables them to establish themselves. This is further reinforced by the small size of our school, deliberate in design, with class sizes capped at just 27, the smallest state school average in Barnet. Every child is noticed. We all know one another well. Then, at the end of year 9, a student graduates to our upper school, our GCSE centre, a more mature environment, focused on generating greater independence, a physical design that enables a bespoke journey through school, a map in front of them, with shared common experiences and landmarks to aspire towards and celebrate. School closure, in the physical sense in recent months, was a challenge for all schools. For me, I simply missed the rhythms of daily life, the lunch queues, popping into lessons, having a chat with my students. But it was also a test of our values and our ambitions. I believe it was because of our strong relationships and high standards that we have come through this period as a thriving community, where our curriculum has remained on track and our students have returned to school so confidently. So what does our school offer you and your child? A track record of success, yes. Our results, our Ofsted inspection, our destinations all prove that. This is essential. You want a school where your child will pass exams, but also one where your child's happiness and well-being takes centre stage. It will be clear in the film you will see shortly, and when you meet my head girl, Rosie, and head boy, Harry, later, that is how they feel. You can feel how alive our school is because we focus on the bigger picture. Because surely the happiness of your child, your number one priority, is pivotal. Because if they're happy, they can achieve anything. I said that I believe I have the best job in the world, but this school is more than my job. I love it as my home, and it is my all-consuming project. I'm proud to know my students well, to notice their achievements and their small, everyday triumphs. I'm delighted to teach my own classes, despite the eyebrows it raises from my head teacher colleagues. But I know that by being in the classroom, I'm demonstrating my commitment to my students and expecting no more of my staff than I do of myself. Selfishly, it may also be amongst some of my favourite time of the week. I thoroughly enjoy the time I spend with my students, with this being my regular cultural society trips, something I treasure and relish, thoroughly enjoying their company, but also simply popping into their lessons, sharing a celebratory head teacher lunch or afternoon tea, or just having a chat in the playground. A sense of this came to me just last week. I received a postcard from a student who's just started year 12. We have a system at school where teachers send postcards to students to celebrate their achievements. And the postcard simply said this: Miss Harrison, I have enjoyed my first week at Woodhouse. Thank you for all your support. I wondered if anyone ever sent you a postcard, so I thought I would. Izzy. How kind. How thoughtful. I can't put a measure on this. But it represents a lot of what we stand for here. A family-like community who know each other well, who are comfortable together and have the shared same bold ambitions. That is why I have the best job in the world. Now, we are keen to be able to provide you with as much of a chance as possible to feel the reality of our school, to feel those things that myself and my colleagues have talked about brought to life. So we've put a short film together for you to show a day in the life of our school. I then look forward to coming back after the film clip to answering some of your questions. Thank you very much.
What it means to be an archer to somebody who isn't part of our community. I wonder how we might do that, and I wonder if you might be able to do it better than me. So, Susanna, could you start me off? What does it mean to be an archer?
To be an archer, it means to be really respectful of other people, but also to follow the archer way and always try our hardest and be resilient and respectful and just always trying your best. I think is a very important thing, being an archer.
To be an archer means to be part of the community throughout the years and to follow all the archer outcomes and to be the best person you can be.
Wonderful. Tatum, is there anything you'd add in terms of what it means to be an archer?
I'd probably say having a good balance of sharing your own ideas and also listening to your peers' ideas, because we like to focus on including everyone here, which is really important.
And as you've been at Archer now, you're into your third year, although we missed it last year, didn't we? What would you say a normal day and a normal week is like at Archer? Ash, what would you say?
Well, it's a place where you get to try lots of different things and subjects which you enjoy, and when it's really good because when you come to year 9, you get to choose your own and make more decisions of your own choices.
Could you tell me a little bit about why year 9 is a bit different?
Well, you could choose to drop certain subjects that you don't enjoy and take more of certain subjects. Like I've chosen to take more of dance and drama, so they're now double lessons for me.
Wonderful. Really... And are you enjoying that bit more personalisation?
The day is a lot of lessons with fun activities, and then at breaks and lunch you can talk with friends and have fun.
It's really fun, and it's a really fun day. At the end of the day, you go home with a smile on your face.
Oh, wonderful. What about you, Rudy? What would you say a typical day or week is like?
I think a week is really interesting because it varies a lot, and we have lots of different and exclusive things at Archer, like baby citizenship or in year 7 and 8 thematics. So you'll learn about a wide variety of things, and all the lessons are really interesting and planned really well.
Oh, good, I am pleased. And what about thematic learning? What is that? Because that only happens at the Archer Academy,
So thematic learning, which you do in year 7 and 8, it's about different topics that are going on in the world, and current stuff or past things that you might not learn about in a normal maths or English lesson. So maybe like the environment or politics, things like that, which are really interesting.
Wonderful. Did you have a favourite topic that you studied during thematic learning?
Right now, citizenship, which carries on, and you kind of do in year 9. We're going to study nuclear weapons and kind of how that affects the world, so I'm looking forward to that.
And Sam, if we're then thinking about some of the experiences you've had so far at school, what would be some of your favourite experiences or memories so far that you have of your time at school?
I really enjoy the enrichments programme because it allows us to do stuff that we had really chosen to do because we enjoyed doing that, or we wanted to try doing stuff.
Could you give me an example of something you've done in enrichment?
So I did Archer Media with Mr. Carter, which was filmmaking, and so I got to learn loads of new skills about storyboarding and filming.
Wonderful.
In year 7, we went to the Kingswood, and I think that was a really nice experience because I guess we got to make a few more friends, and I think that was when everyone was started becoming more comfortable with each other, and it was just really fun, like all the activities that we did.
Good. Lots of team building. Yeah, wonderful.
Would probably be Thor Park, going to Thor Park with my friends, because I mean I've been there before, but now I went there with my friends, and I think it's just better with friends. Yeah.
And did you do that as part of the thematic project on designing the theme park?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So it was a kind of really fun treat at the end of a big project that you've done very well.
Yeah, because we designed a theme park and then we actually got to go to one at the end. So yeah, that was really nice.
So could you describe to me, Alicia, how does enrichment happen? What is it?
So I would say enrichment is a club that you do after school, but in school, and you get to choose what subject you'd like to do. So say you could do cooking, or you could do martial arts, and you get to do it with your friends, and so that's really nice, and it's just a bit of extra stuff that you can do, which is very nice.
Wonderful. So these are sort of clubs and activities, but you have to do them.
Yeah,
but they're fun.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not bad.
So it's not a bad thing to have to do. No, okay.
So the way you actually pick your enrichment is you have a list and then you have 5 choices. So you put first is the one you most want, and 5 is your other options. So you normally always get 1. And then I think just make sure when you look at the list, try something new each time if you can, but just make sure that you're enjoying it.
Lucia, what would you say are the big differences between primary school and secondary school?
I would say that there's a lot more freedom, as you know, you get to choose some of your subjects, and also you make a lot more friends, and you help out in the community, and then you have more responsibility, which can be quite nice sometimes. So yeah, I would say it's a good big step up, but you enjoy it.
Try everything that's going to come your way, and you're going to be challenged at Archer. But you're gonna try everything and just respect others.
Well, I think enjoy your time at school, because I know as a year 9 it doesn't last forever in terms of all the fun stuff in year 7, and I think take every opportunity and take risks, and it will be worth it.
You say?
I would say that you should not be afraid to speak to people and make friends as soon as you start, so that you have them all along your 5 years, I think, of Archer.
So jump in there.
Yeah.
And what about you, Jacob? What would you say?
My advice is to stay calm, because everything is going to be all right. The teachers will guide you, so...
Archer life has been so nice and easy to get into the transition.
I do hope that you've been enjoying seeing a snapshot of our school in action. We're now going to pose some of your questions to our panel. Thank you so much to everybody who has contributed. Please note that we have grouped some questions together where they've been similar to ensure that we cover as much as possible. So on the panel with me are Miss Harrison, our head teacher, Miss Ogbasalese, our head of year 7, Rosie Gordon, head girl, and Harry Hayward, head boy. So going into our first question, which I think is an excellent first question and probably best answered by one of our students. So Harry, I'm going to direct this to you. Think back to that first year at Archer, and how easy did you find it to make friends? How did the school support you with this?
So for me personally, I came from a school where only one other person came from. And right from as soon as I found out I was going to Archer, I was set up with tasting lessons, CPA days, and induction day. And as soon as I actually started my life as an Archer, everything was quite focused on being in your form group, but also actually before you get into set classrooms, you're mixed around with other people in the year group, which is great. Another thing is the Kingswood trip back in year 7, which I think is amazing. It's when you go away for a couple of days and just meet people from all across the year, like maybe you haven't talked to yet. And I think for me, being a year 11, it was the basis of a lot of friendships that are still intact right now.
Thank you very much, Harry. And I think I remember going on that Kingswood trip with you all those years ago. So moving to our second question then, something that I think in the current climate is very much in the forefront of all of our minds. So a question for Miss Harrison: how do you look after students' mental health and well-being?
Thank you. Yeah, I think an incredibly topical question. I think, first of all, it's about acknowledging that mental health and well-being has the same importance as physical health and well-being, and that it has to be at the front and centre of all that we do. We very much lead a school community where we believe that well-being comes first. I don't feel that a child can thrive or be confident unless they feel well and happy and safe in their hearts and in their heads. We take a very overarching approach to our mental health and wellbeing approach. It's a key part of our school values. It's a key part of how we conduct and lead our school community, the lifeblood of our school, so to speak. You will see that through the work and the projects that our student leadership teams lead on. And I very much enjoy my students taking leadership opportunities here. But it's also through our values and our structures, through our assemblies, through our workshops, through the specialist opportunities that we afford our young people. But then, of course, it's about more bespoke provision, opportunities through the curriculum, through counselling, through specialised workshops. Then, of course, if something is more serious for a young person, it's about enhancing that delivery to ensure that they have the specialist services that they might need to help them, so that we can enable them to come back to full health and well-being and thrive once again in our school community.
Thank you very much, Miss Harrison. Now, the next question, Rosie, is going to be for you. So reflecting on your time at Archer, how would you say that Archer has shaped you to become the person that you are today?
Archer has definitely pushed me, and it's taught me to push myself, as well as teaching me to take every opportunity that's given to me so that I can get the best experience that I can. And by doing so, it's made me a lot more confident in myself and my ideas, and it's pushed me to do what I want to do rather than be influenced by what other people want me to do.
Thank you very much, Rosie. And we are all simply just so proud of everything you have achieved. Now, Miss Harrison, we obviously continue to be in uncertain times. So what will you do if there is another lockdown, and how will you make sure that students' learning isn't interrupted?
One of my greatest priorities at the moment has been such a pleasure to bring our school back to full life with all children in all classrooms. But I take the same approach that I've taken throughout 2020, the most interesting year of headship so far. And that is that we continue always to travel in the hope that we can have all of our young people in school, but that we must be very best prepared for the worst case scenarios. And that, of course, those scenarios can be very different, from having to close a school fully to having some children needing to work remotely. We have a full contingency plan in place that's been developed by senior leaders, approved by governors, and worked through with middle leaders as well and school staff. This would involve us going quickly and swiftly to a virtual curriculum model where students would have a range of virtual lessons taught to them by their teachers via the computer and supported by wider remote learning. But it's also about prioritising, for me, should we go into further lockdown, socialisation opportunities for young people. One of my key learnings from our previous lockdown was about how isolating it could feel at times for children, and that in fact one of the things they most benefited from was their virtual tutor time activities, their virtual enrichment activities. And I would provide more of those next time, but also more opportunities for students to talk informally as groups through school systems. We use Microsoft Teams here as our platform to ensure that everybody felt they had the opportunity for both formal and informal connections with school, something that perhaps we take for granted on a day-by-day basis. But also ensuring that those assessment points remained continuous so that young people can see and feel the progress that they are making, so that when they are able to return to school, they feel confident about the learning they have done outside of the physical classroom walls.
Thank you very much. Now, very much on the same topic, I think it would be really good for the children watching tonight to hear from one of our students. So, Rosie, can I direct this to you? What were your experiences of lockdown, and how would you say that school helped you with this?
I think that ending year 10 and going into year 11 is a stressful time anyway, but the school was brilliant in setting us up for our year and going into our GCSE year, because we had all our online lessons, so the lessons we would usually have during school time were the same, as well as our assessments carrying on and all our enrichments and clubs going on. So we carried on with female leads and our diversities and inclusion society, even though we were in lockdown.
Lovely, thank you very much. Now, thinking ahead to preparing for that September when your child is in year 7, I wonder, Miss Ogbasilese, from your experience as being ahead of year 7, what advice would you give to parents about supporting their child through that transition process?
I would say that it's very much about taking an active role in supporting your child throughout that process and that journey that they're going on. Students are going to have a wide range of opportunities, from taster lessons to drama workshops to summer challenges to writing a letter to the head of year and head teacher. And what I would say is that this requires a level of organisation, so supporting your child with that. I would also say that taking advantage of the opportunities, so therefore registering your child for as many opportunities as possible and engaging at every stage. This would ensure that your child feels confident in their new setting. It also gives your child the opportunity to develop new relationships and also build friendships, which is such a significant part of secondary life.
Thank you very much. Now, I'd say a significant part of that transition process is the summer school. So I would advise you to look at the dates for that as soon as your child does receive their place. Now, the next question is a very important question, something that I know will be on the minds of young people thinking of making new friends and moving up. So, Miss Harrison, how do you handle cases of bullying in school?
I think first and foremost, it's about recognising that children do fall out with each other. Children are unkind to each other at times. We might not want them to be, but it is in some respects a normal part of growing up, some spits and spats on the playground. But there's a big difference between some normal fallings out that we can support a young person in rectifying and bullying. We take a zero tolerance approach to any form of bullying here at school and lead a great range of workshops and opportunities for our young people to understand their behaviours, how it can make other people feel, and what bullying looks like so that they can identify it both perhaps for themselves, but also for other people. For me, I always have a very simple benchmark. If the behaviour of somebody else makes you feel uncomfortable, unhappy, or unkind, I often reference it to be that funny feeling in your tummy, then for me that means that somebody else's behaviour is unacceptable and that we need to act. But chiefly there is that we need to know about something that's happening. And I would always ask of our children and of our parents, please do not let something linger or fester. If something doesn't feel right, we need to know about it so that we can support you in finding the best resolution and the best solution. And should we find a case of unacceptable behaviour, then we would need to use our school behaviour policy. We may need to issue sanctions and consequences. But we would then also need to support those young people in moving through to a resolution that leaves them comfortable and ready to move past these issues and to embrace the next set of opportunities ahead of them at school.
Thank you very much. Now, thinking of our wider curriculum, and I'd like to direct this question to Miss Ogbasilese, what extra opportunities do we offer at Archer outside of the classroom?
Well, we've already heard so much about enrichment, which is a huge part of life here at Archer. It also means that every child participates in extracurricular activities. We also have a range of clubs such as DebateMate. We have the Young Global Ambassadors, the school orchestra, sporting teams, our cultural society, which is incredibly popular among students. Trips also form a huge part of school life, and there are pastoral opportunities, but also opportunities that are run by subject specialists, so departments. So if I consider my history role, which is the subject that I teach, we've had trips to the Churchill War Rooms, we've had trips to Berlin, Kenilworth Castle, and I think as a school, it's very much about bringing learning to life, but also allowing for learning to take place in different ways.
Thank you very much. Now, the next question, a great question. So children join us with a wide range of needs, English as a additional language, special educational needs. So Miss Harrison, how do you cater for children with additional needs at Archer?
Thank you. First of all, it's about ensuring that we understand what those needs are, and each child's needs can be very different. We try very hard never to take a generalised approach. What I would say to a family of a child that does have additional needs is please to reach out to us early so that we can begin to understand those needs and work with you to ensure that we know that we're best placed to meet them. I would ask that you take the time to contact myself and my SENCO, Mr. Latta, and his excellent team, so that we can meet with you during this admissions process and look and explore what secondary school life here at Archer might mean for you. We have a designated team of lead practitioners who specialise in each area of SEN, supported by a wider set of teaching assistants who meet the bespoke needs of children identified through their plans. Each child with SEN has a pupil passport here at school, which maps out the support and strategies that they need. For many children, those needs can be met through the classroom, through increased differentiation and support of their specialist teachers. For other children, wider support is needed outside of the classroom, through small group interventions or liaison with additional professionals. When it comes to children with an additional language, here at our richly diverse school, there are of course children that come from all over the world, and we wonderfully enjoy that. But it does mean that we have to ensure that children can access the language in which their curriculum is taught. We have designated teachers here at school who teach English as an additional language, and that very much has been a growing programme for us over the past school year. Children have additional languages outside of the curriculum to support them with their English growth, and then wider projects and support is set aside as well. For us, we've seen great impact with that work, particularly over the last few weeks as the term has started again. We had been worried about some of that provision during lockdown, and we continue to provide English as an additional language through our remote learning curriculum. And I'm so pleased that we did that.
Thank you very much. Now, another question for Ms. Harrison. We are a very ambitious school, a school that wants every child to do their absolute best. So how do you make sure that particularly able children are challenged appropriately and stretched in the classroom by their teachers?
Thank you. And I think, first of all, that's about ability comes in many different guises, that a child's talents and aptitudes can fall across an academic or a creative curriculum in many different ways, or a sporting curriculum. And first of all, in a similar way to SEN, it's about identifying what those abilities are and how we can then best capture and support them for a young person. It's about having role models. It's about having pitch and stretch and challenge in the classroom, but it's also about wider opportunities and providing that chance for a young person to look above their textbooks and to see that broader wild world outside and what really is available to them. We offer a host of programmes of additional GCSEs for our students to take in subjects such as further maths, citizenship, religious education, which are hugely popular as stretch and challenge. We also have a specialist lead teacher responsible for gifted and able education here at school, which I think identifies how seriously we take that provision here. And that specialist teacher, Mrs. McMullen, leads on our wider provision and on our training in our classrooms to provide extensive differentiation. For me, one of the key things that I prioritise here is about opportunities that we deliberately direct children to through their learning and their curriculum and say, this is something you need to do. But also the opportunities that we make available for a child when there is choice involved, when in fact we are enabling them to realise that they must take opportunities for themselves, and how wonderful it feels to do well in those things and the impact that it has both on their academic progress, their social skills, and those wider, softer skills as well. For me, something that is a common theme throughout all of this is always reading. I do believe that reading is the one thing that we can all do to make ourselves smarter, and reading forms a central provision of our able provision here at school, both through subject specialism and also through reading for pleasure.
Thank you. And as an English teacher at the Archer Academy, I would definitely second that point about reading. Now, I think we'd be interested to hear a little bit about Harry and Rosie and what their plans are for after their GCSE. So if I go to Harry first, Harry, what are your plans for after GCSE?
Well, for me, I would really be looking to go to Woodhouse College and using the partnership that our schools have. If I had to choose what to study there, I'd do history, law, and politics. So it's something I'm really, really interested in. Then going on to university, I'm really not sure about that right now, but I'll be really interested to looking around, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Woodhouse, see what it's like there, possibly other sixth forms too.
Thank you very much, Harry. Some exciting things in your future, I think. And so, Rosie, the same question for you. What are your plans for after GCSE?
I think, as Harry said, I would really like to take advantage of the partnership we have with Woodhouse, because I know that they are really especially amazing at the sciences, and I would really love to take biology, chemistry, English literature and history. And I really want to go into medicine and into the medical world. So I haven't looked at any universities, but the Archer has been especially amazing with taking us to pre-med conferences and teaching us how to move forwards in that line of work. And they've just been amazing supporting me with my ambitions.
That's lovely. It sounds like you've done a lot of research as well. Now, Miss Harrison, aside from Woodhouse and the traditional A-level routes, what other pathways do our young people take?
And I'm so continually impressed by the rich variety of opportunities that our students take. First of all, of course, it's about our provision here in school. Rosie's just touched on the pre-med conference that she went to just before school closure, but we run a range of vocational opportunities throughout school as well. And we have a lead practitioner for vocational curriculum here at school who provides an opportunities to visit colleges and for open evenings here at school where we bring those colleges in. Some of the apprenticeship applications that our young people have gone on to secure have always impressed me. I think my favourite one in the recent months has been a young person going off to work at Mercedes and looking at the opportunities ahead of that young person. But also the London Screen Academy is incredibly popular. The Ada Lovelace Computer Science College is growing in popularity, and that affords a really specialist future route. But of course, Barnet and Southgate College and City and Islington College offer a huge range of specialist courses, of which for our young people so far, it has been courses based around engineering and the arts that have proven most popular.
Thank you very much, Miss Harrison. Now, a question that I think a lot of young people will have on their minds at the moment is around homework. So, Miss Ogbesalese, could I ask you to outline what does Year 7 homework look like at Archer, and how do we help students manage that?
We do take a staggered approach to homework and introducing it so that it feels supportive of establishing good routines and habits around home learning. We start with setting homework in core subjects, so English, maths and science. We then later build on this by adding in humanities and languages. And then we also add on the more creative subjects, so around thematic learning, performing arts and PE, so that by the October half term, students are completing homework for all subjects. Our homework model very much follows our curriculum model, so that homework activities are differentiated, so that there is support, stretch and challenge for all. And in taking this approach, we aim to be supportive but also ambitious for all students.
Thank you very much. Now, our final question then is for Miss Harrison. How do you ensure that we have a diversity of heritage, ethnicity and gender that's included in our school curriculum?
It's a fabulous question, and thank you to any prospective parents who've brought that through this afternoon. And I think one of the main reasons I find that to be so fantastic is I'm not sure that would have been asked of me only a few years ago. And I think the recent climate is enabling a spotlight to be poised on these issues, which I certainly relish. And I know my students and my staff do as well. For us, chiefly, the flexibility of our curriculum has always been a real advantage here. Subjects such as thematic learning and citizenship being taught as compulsory parts of our curriculum when they're not explored in other schools have given us the flexibility to teach around, above and through different subject areas. So, for example, our young people will experience a topic such as books that changed the world, where they will see books and histories from very different positions and different heritages. It also ensures that we are looking at men and women's access to the world, which sometimes historically has been slightly shrouded. Topics also such as protest, global climate change have all been incredibly popular with our young people. For us, a key area of development has been around the literature that we teach at school. Many parents will be aware that, of course, the set texts at GCSE are set by the exam boards, and we have limited opportunities for change there, although I hope that will evolve in the coming years, and certainly myself and other head teachers are raising that issue continually. But we have recently fully audited all of the literature that we sit through English at school and also through drama to look at ways in which we can broaden that opportunity for our young people, and our students have been actively involved in those choices. We teach an additional literature programme here at school for students in Year 8, and that again has given us greater flexibility to teach wider texts than many other schools have done. But I think this is also about the voice of my students. We have a rich diversity and inclusion society here at school that is made up of members of staff and students, and the way in which they have approached the Black Lives Matter agenda and the ambitions that they have for their future give me real hope for the equality that I think will come through in our school. for it truly is only young people that will change some of the attitudes that perhaps we have experienced in the past. So I would say it's an ongoing area of focus and development, something that we are committed to ensure that our curriculum and our school truly does reflect its rich variety of membership.
Thank you very much. Now, that does bring us to the end of our questions. For anyone who's joined us halfway through, please note that the full video will be available on our website. Now, thank you so much to everybody who's contributed. Some absolutely brilliant questions, and I hope that those answers have helped and given you a bit of a flavour of what it's like here. Now, any questions that we haven't managed to reach this evening, please, as I said, do refer to our website. And if you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to email them into the Archer office. Now I'm going to hand over to Miss Harrison.
Thank you very much. And to echo those words of Miss Martin, I'm really grateful to all parents who have posed those questions to us this evening. I do hope they've been helpful and given you plenty to think about and access to information. But it has been my great pleasure to give you a sense of our school this evening and the prospect that it may offer to you and to your child. I know that for you to be informed about our admissions criteria is incredibly important. And at the end of this presentation, I shall share some direct links to the school website that identify our admissions criteria. A reminder that we have a priority admissions criteria for N2, N3 and NW11. We have been, over the recent years, a particularly popular and oversubscribed school. Something we are hugely proud of, but we do also recognise that poses some challenges for families. The key is for you to be informed. If you are unsure about any aspect of our admissions criteria, please do not hesitate to contact my admissions officer at school, Sharon Walsh, so that she can help you with your personal requirements around where you live and the needs of your child. We have put together a series of short films about our school as well, which I hope will further bring it to life for you. They are available again on the website, and I hope that you will enjoy them. I would very much encourage you to watch them with your child so that they can get a sense of our school as well. We are from Monday offering a range of opportunities to visit our school. Those, of course, are being done following social distancing guidelines. If you haven't already registered for an opportunity to visit, please do so. And again, there's details of how to do that on the website, the links that I will share shortly. I hope that you have enjoyed this taste of our school this evening. We have certainly enjoyed putting it together for you. Talking about our school is one of my favourite topics of conversation, and certainly that of many of my members of staff as well. But I hope that we will be able to welcome you to our cohort in September 21 or beyond. I hope that you can see that anything truly is possible here, that only the best will do. I hope that you feel that, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.